Hi, I'm Martin McGrath from Financial Edge. Today I want to talk to you about how we're helping our clients get the best tax results they've ever got. I'm both a tax agent and chartered accountant, and we specialise in helping people set themselves up for retirement and use the tax system in their favour. So I want to take you through 5 tax returns we've done in the last month or so and just show you the power of making your strategy work for you, incorporating super, understanding how contributions can save you tax, and moving money around can get a great result. So I've got 5 examples to take you through, and I'll go high level, but just to give you some of the numbers. Because these tax returns themselves have provided over $60,000, yes, that's $60,000 in tax refunds for 5 of our clients over the last month. So example client number 1, they came to us, they've inherited some money, they didn't know what to do, they want to use that money to set themselves for retirement. Do they go buy an investment property? Do they put it into super? How do they put it into super? How does that all work? So we took them through an approach, figured out how much they can do, what's the best result for tax, whose name that should go in. In the last few years, they haven't been happy with their tax returns. They've usually had to pay a little bit or maybe get a few $100 back. But what we did is, by putting in a combined $65,000 into their super funds, there's certain limits about how we do it and how we claim it, and then we can take you through that if it's applicable. But what that meant is that one partner got $10,000 refund, the other got a $13,000 refund. So a combined result of $23,000 back in their pocket. Fair to say they're pretty stoked with that result. Another example, a client who's a little bit older, single woman, trying to figure out what's the best thing to do with her. She had a bit of extra money, but didn't know where to put it in and how to set that up for us. So we moved some money around to try and get her some better tax deductions. There were some things she wasn't claiming that she could have been, but also importantly, put a bit extra into super for her. In her case, it was only actually $8,000 we put into super, but because of that, and a couple of things we did, she got a $7,500 tax refund. Which the last 5 years, she's only got about $500 or $1,000. It's a massive difference for her, and we've actually used that money from this year's refund to put it back into super again, so she can get a pretty similar result next year. She's pretty happy with that. It doesn't always have to be big, crazy numbers. Some of these figures are less than $10,000, but it is put in the right way in the right person's tax environment to get a better outcome. Another example, lady approaching retirement. She'd been putting a lot of money off her mortgage, and she had a bit of redraw, and the interest rates are so low. I said, well, maybe we should look at super. She was already 60, so figured out how much she could put in, put $25,000 into super for her. Because she was 60, she could actually access the transition time and take it back out, but that's another strategy. But that resulted in a tax refund for her of $10,500. There was no way that money was saving her that much in interest on the home loan, but by putting it into super, taking it back out, she can get a massive tax refund. Again, very happy client. Another one, bit more going on. We've got some negative gearing, we've got some investments, we've got some super going in for husbands and wife and that kind of stuff. But again, one partner's working. We put about $15,000 into super, and they got about a $10,000 refund as well. A bit more complex with that one. There's a lot of moving parts, but again, shows that if we take the right approach with the right strategy, we can get a pretty good outcome. And last one, and maybe even my favorite one, because these numbers aren't crazy again. These clients earn a combined income of $86,000. Not amazing 5 earners, both work part-time, decent jobs, but aren't high-paying jobs. But what we actually did is they had some inheritance and money that they could use. We figured out how to put that into super and what's the right amount to put into super for them. And it wasn't high, but what we actually did is we brought their incomes down to the point where they weren't paying any tax personally. They earned a combined $86,000 and paid 0 personal tax. The tax they had paid, about $9,500 combined, they got all that back. So to earn nearly $100,000, use the super system in your favor. They were fortunate they didn't have a debt to pay off. Their home loan was already cleared, so had some extra money. They were nearly 60, so we used the super element, but it meant that they paid no personal tax. Now, full disclaimer with all this stuff, when you put money into super, your super fund does pay tax, but it's only at 15%, which is a much lower rate typically than your personal rate. And it comes out of the super fund money when we put it in. So these were the personal tax refunds of these clients. We tally them up. There's over $60,000 there, and really good outcomes for our clients. So I think a few focus or outcomes for me is I've been a tax agent for 10, 15 years. And often clients come to the end of the year, hey, what do I get back on tax? And they're not always happy with their outcome. So we've flipped it. We focus really on the strategy. What can we do this year to get you the best outcome? What's the best use of your money? We need a certain amount to live off, but the surplus above that, is that to get better against your home loan? Is it into an investment property? Is it into a certain share portfolio, or is it into super? And you can see by taking the right approach and having a strategy in place can get you a really good outcome. So the 3 things we focus on is 1, focus on the strategy. Don't just get to the end of the tax year and hope and cross your fingers you're getting a good result. We need to do things throughout the year to get you there. 2, use the tax system in your favour. As a chartered accountant and with a master's degree in financial planning, we know the ins and the outs, where to put the money in the right places to get the right outcomes for this kind of stuff. And there's a lot of complex stuff. I'm really trying to simplify this down, but trying to show you that with the right strategy, you can get a really good outcome. And if you're not sure where to start, we've got plenty of videos that might be able to give you a heads up, or just give us a call. Happy to have a chat. Jump on the website. You can book a free 15-minute chat where I can kind of explain, is this something you could do? How would it work in your situation? And if we kind of need to get to the nitty-gritty, let's catch up, have a meeting, talk through the numbers, and figure it out from there. Hopefully that gives you some insight, some excitement that tax doesn't always have to be scary or boring. We can make it work really well for you.